So I'm in 2 Samuel, the 6th chapter. And they are taking the ark and put it in a new cart, and Ahio and Uzzah, the sons of Benadab, they drove the new cart. And then David and all the house of Israel, they're celebrating. They're so happy. They're so enthused because the ark is returning. So they think. Verse 6, and when they came to Nachon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen stumbled. So now, or shook it. So now the oxen they're using oxen to pull the cart, and one of them stumbled. And so in order to keep it from falling, surely this brother was doing the right thing. Surely he's doing the right thing. It says, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and God smote him there for his error, and there he died by the ark of God. So the Lord killed him on the spot for his what? False worship. He's doing this in honor of him. And Dave, you would think, well, David, that's the king. David's righteous. They doing, they just trying to bring the cart back with the ark on it, the new cart. So now it says, and David was displeased because the Lord had made a breach upon us. So his anger was poured out upon us. And it said, he called the name of the place Perez Uzzah to this day. And David was afraid of the Lord that day and said, how shall the ark of the Lord come to me? He should have been afraid. That's what we don't understand. See, people think that the Lord is some cream. I'm not saying David thought that. I'm not saying that. So let me qualify that. I'm talking about people's attitudes today. People think that he's some kind of cream puff. No, he's not a cream puff at all. You'll be shown to be the cream puff. He's not one. But here we find out, First Chronicles, the 15th chapter, we find out what the problem was. Why did he kill Uzzah? This is First Chronicles, the 15th chapter. Because now David is still prepared. He's trying to bring the ark to Jerusalem. And he called the priests, the Levites. And he said to them, he says in verse 12, and said unto them, ye are the chief of the fathers of the Levites, sanctify yourselves, both ye and your brethren, that ye may bring up the ark of the Lord God of Israel unto the place that I have prepared for. Meaning, sanctify yourselves, set yourselves apart, so you can bring up the ark. And he tells you what the problem was. He says, because ye did it not at the first, the Lord our God made a breach upon us, for that we sought him not after the due order or the proper way or the proper worship. What does he mean by that? Let's go in the Torah. Let's go to Exodus, the 25th chapter, and see something about this ark. See, you can't just, even some you would say, some might say, well, is this a big deal? Apparently, he killed this man for it. Now, when they told him, you start from Exodus 25 and verse 10, you read about the ark, right? But there's something about the ark. He said in verse 11, and thou shalt overlay it with pure gold within it, without shalt thou overlay it, and shalt make upon it a crown of gold round about, and thou shalt cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in the 4 corners thereof, and 2 rings shall be in the one side of it, and 2 rings in the other side of it, and thou shalt make staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and thou shalt put the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark, that the ark may be borne with them. The staves shall be in the rings of the ark, they shall not be taken from it. So in other words, you had rings in it, then you had these staves that were put in it so that you could carry it. He had no business touching it. He had no business touching it. He never told you, matter of fact, he never told you to put it on the new ark. He told you how to carry it. He said, put it on, you had 4 gold rings, and you will use staves to put those staves on the side to pick it up with those rings. You weren't supposed to put your hands on the ark. You would. Let's go to Let's go to this is the last place. Let's go to Colossians. See, and the Levites were supposed to bear it. That's who was supposed to carry it. Matter of fact, I might read something on that. Give me a moment. Yeah, the Levites were supposed to carry the ark. Not Uzzah and his brother on some new car, just doing what they want to do. He never told you that. I'll just read this here. Just show you an example of what I'm talking about. This is just an example. In Numbers 4 and verse 5, it said, and when the camp setteth forward, Aaron shall come and his sons, and they shall take down the covering there and cover the ark of testimony with it, and shall put thereon the covering of badger skins, and shall spread over it a cloth wholly of blue, and shall put in the staves thereof. Why? Because they the ones supposed to bear it on their shoulders. That's how you're supposed to do it. So now let's go back to First Chronicles, the 15th chapter and the 15th verse. Or 14th verse. He says, so the priests and the Levites sanctified themselves to bring up the ark of the Lord God of Israel. Then it says, and the children of the Levites bear the ark of God upon their shoulders, with the staves thereon. Then it says something, as Moses commanded according to the word of the Lord. See, you can't just worship him how you want to do it. You might think it's good. Don't matter. We bought a new car. Yeah, he killed Uzzah. Last place, Colossians 2. So at the same time, don't let other people judge you for what you're doing in your service of the Lord. This is the last place. Here's an example of this. He had to tell the church at Colossae this. The congregation there, he says, this is Colossians 2 and verse 16. He said, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day or the new moon or the Sabbath day. See, people have something to say about what you're doing, but they're not worshiping the true and living God. He said, he tells you which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ. So let your worship be, again, God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. He tells you, sanctify them through thy truth. That word is truth. He tells you in another place that his commandments are the truth. He tells you, but in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Then we see an example of how people try to worship him, and he ends up killing them because they didn't do things after the proper order. So let it be that we do things according to the proper order, to the best of our ability. And with that, brothers and sisters, I want to remind you that we at the House of the Faith meet every Sabbath at 5925 West 25th Avenue in Gary, Indiana at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We live stream right here on the Israel Teach YouTube channel, as well as at www.israelteach.org. If you've been edified through the ministry, you can leave a donation if you so wish to do so. 100% of the proceeds go to the work of the ministry, not in our pockets. And with that, brothers and sisters, it is always my prayer that you were edified.